on the left of your screen as well. There is the pontoon, and we're getting set for professional racing for the first time in Malta across the course of the weekend. We've had youth, we've had juniors, we've had corporate team enduro, and now it's some of those, and they're in, and a very good start from everyone. On the inside is Cassandra Beaugrand. Someone's gotten stuck there. Perio.
Yeah, and Cassandra Beaugrand, again, very quick off the pontoon. That's what we saw in Jersey. It set up her race to take out Katie Zaferes. Remember, this is about semi-final racing. It's about top 5 to secure the spot. But the fastest time out of here with the equaliser format tomorrow, it's the times that will determine where your TT position on that bike happens, which is very, very important for all the athletes.
So we're in the grey there is Yuko Takahashi, who's having a fantastic swim, coming to the buoy ahead of Cassandra Beaugrand.
Very good swim. Bookended the pontoon, so Yuko Takahashi was in spot number 1 with outside lines with a bit of clear water either side. He was definitely
also in this semi-final, Felicity Sheedy of Australia, Megan Foley of the US, as is Summer Rappaport as well. So a couple of Americans there. Angie Olmo, who comes into Super League for the first time. Elena Danilova of Russia. Samad of Canada, and we mentioned Perio and Beaugrand. And Perio taking a little bit of a left-hand turn there, but right out the front and fair way out the front is Yuko Takahashi pack. But neither of them can tend to get on the other's hip, if you like. There's a nice little gap between them. You wouldn't see that in the men's racing. Yeah. They'd be right on top of each other.
And that's probably why they're moving a little bit quicker. And you saw as they came off the swim buoy, the athletes back in that group got inhibited, went around the buoy. Cassandra and Yuko to get that clear water and open the gap, which is now going to be quickly. They're moving quickly. It's harder to close it unless you get that disrupted water on the feet of the athlete in front.
So a fantastic start from Takahashi. Behind there, I'd say Summer Rappaport, followed by Claudie Samard, one of our junior athletes. But Takahashi finished 14th in Jersey, which is a little disappointing for her. Still got the great jersey for the fastest transition. That's the she's wearing. But she went on in the Japanese National Championships in Jersey and here, so she's had some racing and some good racing as well as Rappaport looks to push up onto the feet of Beaugrand. Don't forget, there is a chute available for the winner of each of the semi-finals, and that is a shortcut that will be taken on the run tomorrow on any of the runs. Probably give you, because it's still about 5 seconds, I would say, a little bit more than what they gave in Jersey as they turn at the second buoy and head for home. It's Cassandra Beaugrand, Takahashi, and Summer Rappaport, your top 3, with a little bit of a back to San and the chasing pack. But already,
Summer's had a fantastic back end of that swim. She's moved to the left of Cassandra, got a clear, but was able to close that gap. This was her best course here last year. I think she's one to really look for in this race for this round. I think she's an under-expected champion of this style of racing. She's very, very strong. If she has any difficulties, it's in the technicalities of these bike courses. This course not as technical as the others. The right-hander at the bottom of the descent may cause her a couple of problems, but I expect to see things from some of this weekend.
All right, swims. We're expecting about a 3:15 swim, and that's exactly what we're going to get, it looks like. So the pace reasonably on here, despite the fact that there's only 9 in the field, and it's Beaugrand who's going to lead just, well, not even, from water first. Cross the timing mats and pick up valuable points for the blue jersey race. Coming out from there is Samard. I can see Ryan, who's had a good swim alongside Megan Foley out of the water. But at the front, Takahashi, who has the fastest transition. Let's have a look at it right now.
She's out.
Doesn't get much quicker than that.
Great transition by Summer. And there's Angie Olmo from Italy.
Field. Yeah, Angie Olmo,
who's expecting big things. It's her first venture into Super League racing. She's been at all events to support her partner in Leo Bergier. She's a fantastic athlete and excited to be racing, and I think we'll see her in the final.
Elena Danilova, the last of our athletes through. Leonie Perry taking over Felicity. Sheedy Ryan. What's happened to Sheedy Ryan in transition? Your 5, Takahashi, Rappaport, Beaugrand, Samard, and Olmo. And Claude Samard, who was eliminated first, in fact, in the second transition when we had live eliminations in Jersey, has had a great start sitting in 4th.
So what they're thinking now is, okay, I need to get through this race as easy as I possibly can, so I need to really monitor my output, but I need to make sure the time's quick enough, because if we cruise too much, then I have a really poor selection. That's very
deal, and it's hurt her as well. she came out, she was at the bottom of the hill in second position, and you can see how much she's dropped now to Takahashi and Beaugrand. I think she was pushing a little bit of a big gear there. The bike's courses. This is more of a power course, and she's a very powerful athlete as Samad just tacks to the back of Rappaport in third and fourth. They have a little discussion as they head down the descent from Mount Malta for the first time. There is Rappaport tucking her frame in one of the taller athletes, and behind her, Samad. So it's 2 and 2 as they head on the first lap of the bike. But Takahashi and Beaugrand. Beaugrand's smart athlete to sit in at this point. There's a big gap already back. And don't forget, the fifth athlete will automatically qualify too. So we've got two groups of two at the moment.
And they're technically all safe. And I was watching Summer there. I was expecting Summer Rappaport to struggle a little bit on this bike course. It was on that right-hand turn off that descent. It's probably the best I've ever seen her go around that. Should be very, very strong along this flat section. But 100% she's a little bit geared coming in and out of those turns. Maybe she's just trying to find her way on the bike at the moment. Sometimes as you come into a race, you find your way as the race unfolds. But she's got good company there, and that they're safe those four. It's what's happening in 5 or 6 that you're going to see. But I really expect Felicity Sheedy Ryan, who's a magnificent runner, a duathlon world champion. The first run after this bike is a little longer than the second run because we come back down to the swim transition. It's about 2 kilometres. She'll be able to use her run strength
On the run, but don't forget it's a swim bike run. So we are only into the second of 6 legs with 5 transitions, so there's plenty of racing to be done. The 90-second rule is in effect, so fall more than 90 seconds behind the leaders through any transition and you will be gone at the end of any lap. And Olmo has dragging up Leonie Perriot up the hill with Megan Foley behind them, and that's your 5th through 7th placings with Danilova and Sheedy Ryan needing to do some work. We'll get some splits as soon as we possibly can up on the screen.
That's a good group of 3 that Megan Foley's in with Leonie Perriot and Angela Olmo. They're a group of 3 good bike riders. They're closing in on Summer Rappaport, who's a little bit technically not as astute on this descent. I think they'll come together. Yuko Takahashi here last year was magnificent on this course. She likes it. She's able to use a great power to weight ratio up that climb. I think she likes the technicality. Her smaller frame gets through these corners, and she'll be very, very difficult to move through on because it's very difficult to close in on the gaps, especially with her technical skills on a bike.
Yeah, Takahashi actually holds the second fastest swim in Malta ever, which is a 3:07, and the only person who has a quicker swim than Yuko Takahashi here in Malta is Taylor Spivey, and we'll see her in the second semi-final. Of course, Cassandra Beaugrand was not here last year, along with Sophie Colwell and Olivia Mathias, who are all great swimmers. Mathias obviously not racing this weekend, but she is here as Beaugrand takes her turn in the lead. We're about 8 minutes into the first semi-final, and there is daylight between the lead pair and the chasing pack, and spread out quite a bit, and we're going to see some 90-second eliminations, you would think, if this pace keeps up.
And that's going to make things interesting come finals time, because at 90 seconds people start to get eliminated. We have the five fastest times to get through to the final, so as people are eliminated, that opens up in final B the opportunity for them to qualify through.
So up the hill for the second time they come. Beaugrand and Takahashi just sharing the lead, and already starting to think about what they need to do for tomorrow. Yeah, of course, when it comes down to it, the short shoot is in effect. And the other thing we should mention, Macca, is that depending on finishing order in times across the 2 semi-finals, that is the higher up you finish, the better choice you get of your positions in the bike individual time trial tomorrow. So there's plenty on the line for these guys in terms of positioning and timing. Of course, these guys don't know whether they're in a fast semi-final or not. They're feeling it through at the moment. They don't know how fast the second semi is going to be. But because the bike individual time trial takes place 10 minutes before the racing, the championship racing tomorrow, having that extra 40, 50 seconds rest, 2 minutes rest, depending on when you can choose to take off in the time trial, could prove crucial.
Well, I think that's the critical thing they need to be racing for. As you said, when you've got 10 minutes rest between when the last person crosses the line tomorrow after the individual time trial, you have to get your transition ready, you have to get back down to the bottom, which is a good 2 to 3 minutes walk. You want that little bit of extra time. Time is everything come finals time, I guess, and if you're the fastest of the groups, you get to select where you want to go, and I think you'll see those athletes pick that first group of 8 that go off in the time trial tomorrow.
Nice little group coming together there in Leonie Perriot, Angelica Olmo and Summer Rappaport, who's been caught and dropped down to 5th. We know she's got a very, very strong run, though. And speaking of strong runs, the numbers say, as I'm getting updated messages from our data analyst, Graham Atchison, who we'll speak to a little bit later on, Cassandra Beaugrand, if she wants to, could put 20 seconds on Takahashi in a run, because Yuko Takahashi's her run's not her strong suit, and we know how good Cassandra Beaugrand is on the run. So she might just be sitting in there going, at what point do I attack?
Yeah, I agree. I think we all know Cassandra is so powerful on the run. It's her strength. She's our pink jersey. She's magnificent at this multidiscipline racing. That being said, I think Yuko Takahashi, of all the courses we have in Super League racing, she really shone here in Malta last year. It's where she really came on. I thought as an athlete, I think she likes the course. She likes the technicality of this course. And it's an uphill finish. So speed's irrelevant in an uphill finish. It's all about strength, and it's about the ability to time that effort. And we saw Katie Zafaris do that magnificently last year, and we saw Vincent Louis do it again. And Cassandra has not raced on this course. So if there's anything moving in Yuko's way and that goes against the data of Graham, it's the fact that Cassandra hasn't been on this course, and we've never seen her have to sprint an uphill battle.
That's right. There's plenty of new things involved in Malta here. This is a unique course, and I have to say, Leonie Perriot, who came out of the water in 9th position, has moved away up to 3rd, and there's big gaps that she's had to cross. Felicity Sheedy-Ryan has overtaken Elena Danilova in that 8th and 9th position. We'll try and get some splits for you as soon as possible. But at the front and coming off the bike and into transition onto the first of 2 runs is Takahashi and Beaugrand. And
I think the advantage is at this end of the transition area. If you flash back to last year when Richard Murray was out of transition, was able to take out Vincent Louis, he was down this end of the transition area. And you can see there, Yuko Takahashi, despite having to run further, was able to get quicker.
Beaugrand in 2nd position, and we'll throw down now to Jo Ankia, who is at transition. How's it looking?
Yes, absolutely. Well, we know how fast Yuko Takahashi is in transition, and of course she came in and out of here super fast, and it will now be a question of can she hold on and maintain that with Cassandra hot on her.
There she goes. She's certainly putting the strides in the opening part of the run. They're going to turn at the bottom of the course and head up Mount Malta in just a second. We'll see what that strength is in terms of what Cassandra Beaugrand can do, because she's so fast on a flat and technical course. We saw that in Jersey, and I figure that she's going to be quick no matter what you throw at her, because she's of such quality. Cassandra Beaugrand won by 8 seconds back in Jersey. She had the quickest run. She's wearing the pink. She also had the quickest run, but that jersey rolls down to Katie Zafiris. And already she just pushes up alongside, and she looks like she's doing it nice and easy.
And they need to control their effort. They're very much in control out in front. They know that tomorrow's the finals time. Tomorrow's what matters. They need to control that. They're not going to be eliminated from here. They're the two best swimmers after this run. This is a little bit longer, this run. The finish line they're going to pass the finish line up here. This is where the second run will finish, but in this next run, it's about 2 kilometres because they have to get back down to the bottom. They look very, very controlled, and they won't be pressured from here at all.
Heading up towards the finishing line area. They'll take a left-hand turn and up to the highest point of the course in just a second. That's where the short shoot will be for tomorrow, and that is what these two are aiming for at this point. It's about a 150 metres odd run up to the top of the hill before they turn and head down to home. So Angelica Olmo has now taken the lead in that group that are chasing from Leonie Perriot and Summer Rappaport, and then Megan Foley, Angelica Olmo, Claudie Samard, who's dropped back to 7th ahead of Sheedy-Ryan and Elena Danilova. You can see on the left-hand side of your screen as they head down the hill for the first time. And already, after putting in the work on the bike, heading down the hill, very, very tough on the joints.
Yeah, Leonie Perriot, they're going up the hill while the other two go down with Summer Rappaport. They're in control. Summer's switched off there. She's very, very fluent in the run and is opting just to sit back and get through this semi-final as easy as she possibly can. Angie Olmo on screen is sitting in 5th. That's the safe position to be. So the athletes behind Angie Olmo are the ones that will be keying off Angie, saying, I need to get into that position to secure that 5th guaranteed slot to the final.
Claudie Samard at the back of the pack, and those guys will be very much aware of the 90-second rule. Of course, we're only into the first of 2 swim bike runs for this afternoon's semi-final A. We'll head straight into semi-final B in just a second. And there go your leaders who have been stuck together like glue across the course of the last 15 minutes or so. Beautiful pictures here in Malta, in the heart of Burgu and Bormla, which is part of the old town of Malta, not far from Valletta, which is one of the most picturesque parts of this beautiful island. And we've certainly enjoyed our time here, the athletes getting to see plenty of Malta before the racing begins. And as we expected, Cassandra Beaugrand is out front, but Yuko Takahashi is hanging on.
I think Cassandra's just in second gear, and they have the opportunity here to continue to squeeze the pace and potentially eliminate some of the other women at 90 seconds. But I think they realise what's happening here is a race for the, well, I know Yuko would be thinking this is a race for the short shoot. We saw Cassandra Beaugrand win the short shoot by winning the semi-final in Jersey. She opted not to take the short shoot in the final. She was that comfortable.
Yeah,
but
there's a 5-second penalty for...
Was that, who was that, Felicity Sheedy?
No, that was Leonie Perriot, and also to serve the penalty is Angelica Olmo, and both for heading over the dismount line.
Okay, that was a stop down by our race referee.
I wouldn't say that was 5 seconds, but it was a stop down.
It was a stop down. She's moved straight back in the business. She was straight back around Summer Rappaport. Leonie looks a lot better. We saw her get taken out in Jersey in that crash, and she chased all the way in the semi-finals, missed that final. She was devastated about that. And she sees redemption here this weekend, and she looks magnificent. She was just alienated a little bit in this swim. Otherwise, I think she'd be sitting quite comfortably with the front two as Cassandra starts to squeeze a little bit to get a little bit of a gap on Yuko Takahashi now.
Looking supremely confident is Cassandra Beaugrand, and Katie Zafiris will be looking at this where she's warming up and just having a little look at what her title rival is doing at the moment, as will Rachel Clammer, who's also going to be in semi-final B. And Beaugrand just puts on a little bit the second time up the hill and puts about 6 or 7 seconds into Yuko Takahashi ahead of Rappaport, Perriot, Felicity Sheedy-Ryan, who's moved to the front of that group. Angelica Olmo had to serve that penalty as well off screen. She is still in 6th from Danilova Foley and Claudie Samard, who's dropped from 4th to about, well, to the back of the pack.
So Felicity Sheedy-Ryan's the big mover. She came in above 9th off that bike, and she's such a big runner. She's a duathlon world champion, which is the discipline that has no swim in it. It's run bike world titles. She's won that, and she's the second swim was where she was very, very weak in this Super League racing. So she needs to get that margin of error, and she needs to use this longer middle run to get as much margin of error on Angie Olmo and the others.
Perriot and Rappaport in 3rd and 4th. So as it has been, 2 groups of 2, as quite early in the end of the run, you can see on the left-hand side of your screen there, the pink cap was going on for the second swim for Cassandra Beaugrand. So she'll, something a little bit unique to Super League, run the last 800 metres or a kilometre or so with a cap and goggles on.
Without question. I'm quite surprised by Summer. I've been talking about her a lot on the coverage. I thought she would be interested in grabbing that short shoot. She was right there in the swim. She let a bit of a gap open, and there's Felicity Sheedy-Ryan on screen, but she let a little bit of a gap open, and she's not chasing to close that down, because that short shoot advantage in this final, especially over Katie Zafiris and Cassandra Beaugrand, could be the difference of winning this race. We saw how close she came last year to winning it.
All right, so after a couple of times after up Mount Malta, don't forget you have to do a whole other triathlon, and Beaugrand and Takahashi are ready for that. The caps are going on at the back of your screen to Leonie Perriot and Summer Rappaport as well. I don't know if you've ever tried to put a swim cap on while you're running. Not easy, but they make it look easy. This is all stuff that Super League triathletes have to practice.
And it refines that transition speed. It's all about seconds reserved in Super League racing. When you're looking at a 90-second elimination, when it's 2 or 3 seconds between making a final and not making a final, every second you save counts.
Back into the water goes Cassandra Beaugrand, off with the shoes. Spoke to Hayden Wild yesterday. He was famous in Jersey for taking his shoes off whilst running the last 50 metres. He said, I'm going to do that again. It definitely worked last time. Back into the water they go. Beaugrand now will have a nice little buffer on Takahashi, and we know how good of a swimmer she is. She got some water in the goggles there, though, so that slows it down a little bit. Takahashi.
Great transition by Yuko Takahashi. Straight onto Cassandra's feet. That gap had opened up just at the end of that run, and she's able to close that. We saw how good she was to this first buoy off the start of the first swim, and I think she'll get on there. Leonie Perriot on 3rd, and Summer Rappaport in 4th.
There goes Rappaport into the water. Heartening for all of those age groupers and amateur triathletes out there that even the very best sometimes get water in the goggles on a dive.
Without question. I think Leonie Perry will be very, very happy that she's been able to put Summer Rappaport behind her at the end of that run. Summer's probably a better swimmer than Leonie. She's going to have to move past her by this first swim buoy, and Leonie will be able to get the feet of Summer. If anyone's going to move up on Yuko Takahashi, it'd be Summer Rappaport. She's such a magnificent swimmer, but she has to get around Leonie. So well done by Leonie Perry, very well thought out. Felicity Sheedy-Ryan, I expect to see, despite going in 5th, will be the biggest loser from this swim. She's not renowned for her swimming, and behind her is some solid swimmers that need to get past Felicity as they get out of this swim.
Yeah, you can see Rappaport and Perriot shoulder to shoulder as they head to the first turn buoy. And just a reminder that the top 5 will automatically qualify for tomorrow's final, and that is where all the championship points and all of the money is decided, as Claudie Samard is our last into the water. Just to the right-hand side there, you can see Macca's big boat. Just drove it in here this morning, dropped anchor and straight into the commentary box. There is Beau Grant and Takahashi, and the two of them behind are still inseparable. No one willing to take the lead and get on the feet of the other one, but Beau Grant just nice, as easy as you like, just controlling the pace of this race. 5 go through automatically, and then 5 from semi-final B, and then the next 5 fastest will also make up the 15. So if you're sitting on the bubble here in 5th, 6th, or 7th position, you know that you need to either sew up that 5th spot or just sit and hope. And athletes like Angie Olmo and Elena Danilova, Megan Foley, they want to hope that they're in a fast heat. But the athletes in semi-final B, they'll know what the heat times are. So they'll check the watch or however they want to pace themselves and know what they need to do to get in. So an advantage there.
And what they're looking at too is position number 5 at the top of the screen. That's Felicity Sheedy-Ryan. She's not... This is a very different position for her to be in. As a weaker swimmer, usually in the mass starts, you're having a lot of people to follow. Now suddenly you have to find your own way. You're looking up. She's not going to be as quick at this. And the group behind, and Angie Olmo and Danilova and Megan Foley, will be closing in on her. They need to move up on Flick because she is the danger runner of that group. And if she can get out of this water in that position, it's where she's been vulnerable in the past. She's not renowned for her technical bike skills either, but she can survive a course like this. In a shootout on the run, she'll get through into that 5th spot. Yeah,
Sheedy-Ryan, very impressive in that first run, and you'd expect her to put together another big one. She was eliminated 2nd in her opening semi-final in Jersey, so she's further into the racing than she was last time. She was eliminated in T2, in fact, thanks to a very slow bike ride compared to everybody else. She was a qualifier from Bali, and as you said, 2-time World Duathlon champion. She raced the Nice 70.3 World Champs just a couple of months ago. So coming back to this shorter distance and certainly getting the hang of it a bit in Malta as compared to Jersey, and she's got a spot in the semi-final on the line if she can indeed hold on to 5th position from Angelica Olmo, who is coming off the back of her first World Cup win in New Plymouth this year.
Great swim by Yuko Takahashi.
Yeah, that was
great swim.
It was probably 7 seconds at the point that Beau Grant hit the water before Takahashi transitioned, but a combination of just that little error
Cassandra had a little
Cassandra.
glance. She had a little glance going, oh, wow, I didn't think you were so close, but she was a fantastic swim.
I thought I did enough to get rid of you.
Yeah, Summer Rappaport moved past Leonie Perriot.
She'll transition in the lead too. Takahashi right behind is Beau Grant, and they have been inseparable over the last 23 minutes. Onto the bike, 4 laps for the second time, and here are your 3rd and 4th place, Summer Rappaport and Leonie Perriot, and if they can maintain the gap, they will both qualify for tomorrow's final. Perriot, one shoe on, one shoe off.
Yeah, interesting.
That's an interesting way to do it.
And Felicity Sheedy-Ryan's held on in that swim. So that's her kryptonite, is swimming. And to stay in 5th spot now, she come out with a lot of confidence. This is the guaranteed slot to the final. So she needs to hold this position and keep Angie Olmo and Danilova and Megan Foley at bay.
This will be a huge boost for Felicity Sheedy-Ryan after having a disappointing outing in Jersey. There is Olmo out of the water, the Italian. As I said, first taste of Super League racing for Angie Olmo. And Elena Danilova behind her. Now, Elena Danilova, another one who didn't race in Jersey, so opening her account in Super League for 2019. She has been here before, though, as has Megan Foley. And Foley forced to run around Danilova. And when you look at the transitions we've just seen against the transition of Takahashi, you can see why Takahashi is renowned as a transitioner. Well,
she's wearing that great jersey for a reason. She's magnificent in transition. She moved up on Cassandra out of the swim and was 10 to 15 metres in front of her out of transition.
Be hard to bet against Beaugrand, though, to take the short shoot for this one.
Well, she didn't even take the actual short shoot when she
didn't
earned
need
it
to take the short shoot,
in
did she?
Jersey. So if she's not going to take it, then hand it off to Yuko Takahashi, who I think would thank her a lot for that opportunity, because this short shoot in Malta is going to be very, very important. It's at the position at the top of the hill, and we'll point it out on screen when we get to that position on the bike. And as the athletes on the run are running past that,
sorry to
90-second
interrupt,
rule.
but the first time for the weekend that we see the yellow flag, Michael Thompson, our race director, showing Claudie Simard the yellow flag, and she's our first to be eliminated, and she's in danger of not getting through now to the final. Of that, there is no doubt.
She cannot make the final. She is out of the final. She's not going to post a finishing time. She will not make the final.
Unless there's some kind of bingle on the bike or something in the other semi-final. Claudie Simard's weekend is most likely over.
Yeah, you're right. If there's a problem that goes back on count, back on times, which is a lot of prayers for her.
Yeah, so eliminated in transition 4 is Claudie Simard. The youngster, only 21 years of age, races a lot of American Cup races. She was eliminated first in her semi-final A in Jersey in transition 2. So a better outing for her this time around. But here are your leaders, Beaugrand and Takahashi. And really the important part of this race right now is Felicity Sheedy-Ryan, and can she hold off Olmo, Danilova and Foley, are all fighting for that 5th automatic qualification spot.
That's the race. That is 100% the race. Angie Olmo, speaking to her yesterday, was very, very keen looking at the semi-final ranking she had. She thought she could take that spot, and I think she still thinks that, but Felicity Sheedy-Ryan, she needs to move up on her, because Angie knows that Felicity Sheedy-Ryan in a shootout on the run is a far superior runner than her, and Angie, I think, is a much superior bike rider than Felicity. Yep. So it's a great match-off.
A confirmation, as we saw those 5-second penalties come through, but it looked like a stop down from Michael Thompson. That was a warning to let them know that the 5 seconds will be added post-race. So Leonie Perriot knows that she has to put in an extra 5 seconds, as does Angie Olmo. And you could see that she was a bit upset, Angie Olmo, on her face. And she knows that, well, this plays into the hands of the woman on screen, Felicity Sheedy-Ryan, who's got an extra 5 seconds up her sleeve from Foley and the chasing pack, well, at least from Olmo, and Foley and Danilova are the ones that she needs to worry about a little bit more now.
There's Angie Olmo there, so she's got 5 seconds to add to her finishing time, so she needs 2 more than ever, and she has moved up slightly. She needs to get past Felicity Sheedy-Ryan. If Felicity's going to struggle anywhere, it'll be on this descent. She's not technically brilliant on a bike. She went over this course yesterday. She said she did not like that right-hand turn off top speed on this descent that she's about to embark on, and this is where Angie Olmo, who is a very good bike rider, needs to make a move.
Yeah, I think she's going to have to put in a lot of work if she is going to take a spot. She'll not more likely be thinking about putting in the time to make sure that she can take one of those 5, I guess, lucky loser spots, if you want to call it that.
Yeah. Well, then it's a waiting game, and you never like to wait about anything. You like to finish your semi-final and know you're in the final. You can go down, do your recovery, and Felicity Sheedy-Ryan is racing just like that. She knows this is a big opportunity for her.
Had some reasonable results. 2018 was a great one for her. Had some good results in 2019 as well. And there was Rappaport and Perriot. And there's Olmo trying to chase down Sheedy-Ryan. So she knows she's got the 5 seconds. She's broken away from Foley and Danilova, and she's just doing her best to be as quick as humanly possible on her own as they finish this opening semi-final of what is going to be a huge weekend of racing here in Burgoo and Bormla, in the heart of Malta.
Felicity Sheedy-Ryan has about 10 seconds on Angie Olmo, and I got told, and I've just been told, that Angie Olmo was on a borrowed bike. She snapped her bike in transition before the race. She's on a borrowed bike, which makes sense, because I was expecting a lot more from Angie Olmo on this bike ride. She's one of the best bikers in the field. I was expecting her to move up a lot more. She didn't look as comfortable as I was expecting, and I've just been told that she's on a borrowed bike, which is amazing. You know, to be on a bike,
especially to do that you've done it in transition.
Yeah, 20 minutes before the start of a semi-final. You got to deal with that mentally, and then.
Who's lending the bike?
I have no idea.
Would you lend the bike?
Well, I don't think she
fit
fit
on
my
bike
bike
anyway. But hypothetically,
I'd lend the bike to a friend without question. It's whether the bike fits, and bike riding is all about fit and comfort and being able to be
also
feeling
just being used to it, the vagaries of a specific bike.
Yeah, without question, and that makes a lot of sense to me because I expected to be a lot more aggressive on that descent, a lot more aggressive in this section on screen here. I thought she'd move up on Felicity Sheedy Ryan at 6 or 7 seconds back, and she hasn't been able to do that.
Certainly did not look comfortable. And here they come around the bend and up Mount Malta one more time. And that is Rappaport in the lead from Perriot. But Perriot won't be worried about where Summer Rappaport is. She's only worried about the 5-second gap back behind her, but you can't see anyone. Sheedy Ryan is still trying to come into transition. So there's a huge gap between Perriot and Sheedy Ryan, which means that Leonie Perriot will progress. And that is good news after she got caught up in an accident in Jersey, and disappointing for her because she is one of our great athletes. She's been around Super League for a while, and we expected her to be figuring in the final in Jersey through no fault of her own. She was knocked out of that race, ended up finishing 11th. And around comes Sheedy Ryan.
And right at the back of screen there is Angela Olmo on a borrowed bike. And you can see that she just doesn't look comfortable. It's a little bit too small, that bike, sitting a little bit too far forward. All these things are difficult. It actually makes the run off the bike even more difficult. So all these accumulative things are going against Angela Olmo, and I see that elimination flag. Danilova is out at 90 seconds.
Okay, so midway through the bike is Elena Danilova's elimination, and that'll be a very interesting elimination, and she'll have a very nervous wait when it comes to the times of the second semi-final. Into transition and onto the last leg they go. Takahashi puts the shoes on. Bo Grant's going to get out first, though. A little bit of fiddling there from Takahashi.
Much better transition by Cassandra Beaugrand. She did that with purpose. She moved. She sort of semi-sprinted out of transition to get that gap on Yuko and be able to shut it down now.
Yeah, Takahashi would have thought needed to come out in front to have any chance of taking that short shoot. And into transition come Perriot and Rappaport, who've had a little lonely race between the two of them.
It's been a comfortable race for both of them, I think. I think they realised that gap had got up. If Summer was going to make a move, I think that opportunity left her after that second swim. Now it's about getting through this semi-final as easily as she possibly can. I think she'll shine a little bit better tomorrow in the final when you start to bring Katie Zaferes and a lot more horsepower up front.
She's having a smile, Leonie Perriot, talking to some people on the side of the course. So you know that she's in good form and she's having an enjoyable day out, knowing that she's going to come in with a semi-final, with a final spot. Sorry, Sheedy Ryan comes in and
she will not be caught. There is no way Felicity Sheedy Ryan will be caught on the run, and she knows that. She'd be ecstatic with that bike ride. Angie Olmo has left herself a lot to do.
I think Megan Foley, we should see her in just a second. I think Foley's catching Olmo, but there you go. It's been more than 5 seconds since she came in, so Megan Foley will need a good run if she's going to finish in 6th position. We're still waiting for Foley, actually. Thought she was a little bit closer than that, but Olmo, even with that 5-second penalty, might just have in hand. You can see 1:25 on the clock there, so some other athletes, Foley could be on the verge of elimination, and she is looking like that wry smile. She puts the shoes on anyway for the run to the elimination flag. And there it is. Unfortunate for Megan Foley. She'll finish 7th in semi-final A.
Well, she's the last to be eliminated. As you said, if it goes on a count back, it's going to be a very, very interesting final, semi-final B. It'll be very interesting indeed because they know that they have to post some times or complete the event without being eliminated in order to secure that spot in semi into the final.
All right, just a little blip on the timing screen up there. Megan Foley is not equal first. She's actually down in 7th position and eliminated. And there is the gap between Sheedy Ryan and Olmo, but add 5 seconds to that. So Felicity Sheedy Ryan, she won't know, though, that Angelica Olmo...
Leonie's having a great time.
She is. She's having a bit of a fun run out there.
Move past Summer, who doesn't look as good as comfortable as the athletes in front.
They're just jogging, though.
Yeah, she is, but she doesn't look as comfortable as I've seen her in the past. She is jogging.
She does have a bit of a shuffling run, which she's one of the great runners of Super League Triathlon, one of the quickest.
She's been our red jersey.
She doesn't have a classic run style that looks fluid.
Yeah.
So she can be surprising in terms of her run speed.
It's effective. It's very, very effective.
effective.
And where you think she'd shine, and we saw this last year, is here on the descent, on this downhill running, which is an art form in itself. And as you can see, Cassandra is also a taller woman, taller athlete, uses that downhill very, very effectively and has gapped Yuko Takahashi.
So Cassandra Beaugrand will win your short shoot, barring some kind of incident. She's got 1 kilometre, probably about 1.4 kilometres left to go on the run. Yuko Takahashi sitting nicely in second position. She'll get a very good choice on the bike TT, depending on, of course, the speed of the second semi-final, which will be coming up at 3 o'clock local time. And Sheedy Ryan will not know that Angelica Olmo has a 5-second penalty, but she'll see that and go, 1 more lap to go after this. I should have it in the bag.
But Angie needs to push. Angela Olmo needs to push, because that 5 seconds will be added to the time, which will affect. She's now in that 6th position, which means time matters to her to secure a spot in the final. So that 5 seconds slows her up even more.
There is Megan Foley and Elena Danilova in the background watching pink jersey holder Cassandra Beaugrand disappear up to the top of the hill for the final time. Takahashi second through. And Claudie Simard there too, watching on. Takahashi will finish second, so a fantastic effort from her and a real return to form after Jersey 3 weeks ago. Turn around and become national champion once again back in Japan, and then arrive here in Malta with a big confidence boost and finishing second in her semi-final, barring incident. Here comes Perriot and Rappaport, who are fighting now simply for bike TT position choices.
She's very comfortable, Leonie, and in a much better headspace. She was so disappointed after that crash in Jersey. She was in fantastic form. You can see how good a form she's in, and I think she's very, very happy with the race. Felicity running as she always does.
Leaving nothing to chance,
yeah, nothing to chance.
Ryan. She wants to be there when the guns are firing tomorrow, and she will be. She hasn't really even had a look around looking for Angie Olmo.
Well, she's going to score championship points for the first time by making the final, get championship points, and that's important in the overall at the end of the season for the money you're going to take home.
Oh, that was close to getting eliminated. Just straight through at the 130.
Oy. She's got about 600 metres to go as they come up to the finish line now.
And coming up to the finishing line, as easy as you like, Cassandra Beaugrand will win semi-final A, and she will do it in style and send a message to Kani Zafiris, Rachel Klammer and the rest of the athletes yet to race that she is in supreme form. Cassandra Beaugrand, your championship leader and your winner of the short shoot for semi-final A. Off the back of a great race where she stuck with Beaugrand with excellent transitions and a good all-round performance. Yuko Takahashi is second. She will progress to Sunday's racing, and she'll do that easily as well. And Beaugrand will wait for her great friend, Leonie Perriot, to come up the hill, absolutely swallow that 5-second penalty. Won't make a lick of difference. Rappaport, if she finishes within 5 seconds, will actually take third position overall. So we'll see if that happens. But Perriot puts an extra spurt in at the end. Good crowd already building here. And Rappaport doesn't know that she could take third position. Don't know whether she came in under the 5 seconds or not.
It'll be close.
And Felicity Sheedy Ryan will be your last automatic qualifier for Sunday's racing, and she's very happy, the Australian. Congratulations, Felicity Sheedy Ryan. You will be there on Sunday, and the jury is still out on Angelica Olmo, who narrowly avoided elimination at the bottom of the hill. Comes up the top of the hill at 5 seconds of that. So she comes along in a 38.16.
She's worked hard.
We'll need to keep an eye on that. So Angie Olmo on the deck. She's worked very hard. We'll head down now to Joe with Cassandra.
Well, congratulations, Cassandra. Hills, what hills? You made that look easy. How comfortable were you?
It was very hard, but it was cool because I was with Yuko. So we tried to push together, so it was very cool.
And of course, last time you had a lot of running on your own. How much did it help you to have Yuko alongside you?
I saw behind and I saw Yuko a little bit behind, so I controlled the rest of the race.
And how do you enjoy your first race in Malta? We saw the crowd cheering and clapping as you came in.
Yes, the crowd was on fire and it was very cool. I think it will be the same tomorrow.
Excellent. Congratulations. Good luck tomorrow.
See you.